Hi all, welcome to the 7th part in this series on how to create your own text editing Go programming language. So in this video we are going to implement a function delete row. So whatever functionality needed to handle the backspace like this. So without further ado, let's actually get started. So I want to scroll down to where my insert rune is, and here just right below it I say function delete rune, and goes like this. So it's not taking any arguments, and there would be two cases, two major scenarios. So the first case is when you deleting without line wrapping to the previous line. So this is the line wrapping to the previous line. So first we just implement the function that would just delete and then stops if the column is equal to 0. And then the second part would be to implement the actual line wrapping. So yeah, let's go for it. Let's create a variable. I call it delete line. So delete line is the variable that is going to be holding the line that is supposed to be replacing the current row in the text buffer, and the line to be the line that is going to replace the current line is already going not to contain the character that we've just deleted. So literally we just replace the line, so just get rid of the character and this newly created line without the character that we've just deleted to be inserted back to the particular row in the text buffer. So delete line, dynamically assign it, is going to be equal to the following. So first we need to make delicate some memory for it. So the type of rune is the standard type of the buffer row, so literally the line here, and the length of this is going to be the text buffer indexed by the current row. And here I say -1 because this is going to be just exactly one character less. Now the following thing, I say copy, and I'm now populating the delete line. So delete line sliced from the beginning and up to the current column, and I want to copy whatever is available within the text buffer indexed by the current row and sliced exactly the same way from the beginning and up to the current column. So this is the left part. So say cursor is here, I delete this character, right? So whatever goes to the left part is now going to be appended to this delete line. So I believe that makes sense. Now then after this I say copy, and this case delete line sliced from the current column and up to the very end of the line. So here we populate the right part. So this is going to be again text buffer indexed by the current row, and whatever goes from the current row whatever goes from the current col. And here it's important to say +1 because we need to exactly exclude the character the cursor is now at. So that's the way to go, and that's the slice from. So like say we want to exclude this T, so we create a new line. So the left part of the line is this content, the right part of the line is this content, and this T is excluded, hence current column +1, right? And now we need to point the text buffer indexed by the current row to this delete line. So this should already implement the very basic deletion, and just to make sure it works I need to go to my keys handler here. So yeah, let's delete, yeah, let's just put them here. So case termbox dot key backspace, and that would be key backspace 2 as well. So just say delete rune and say the modified flag equals to true because we've changed something. Now just copy paste it, and here same for delete, for key backspace 2 should be done similarly. Okay, so let's run, quit, and build. And if it builds, ego e.go. So let's have a look. Now we should be able to okay, what mismatch type? Yeah, obviously the length -1, not buffer row -1. I keep doing this mistake all of the time. Yeah. Okay, so now this should work. So I'm going to the edit mode. So if the current column is equal to 0, or it's displayed as the first column, but so here I press, oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, it actually still deletes, but this is not exactly the behavior that I wanted to achieve. Yeah, this is not exactly the behavior. All this should happen only if the current column is greater than 0, and also before anything else we want to say current column minus minus, so that the delete works sort of as expected. And now lines 54, 57, 54, 57, substitute from the new line, add 2 spaces, great. And let's try again. Yeah, now this should work, hopefully. Okay, edit mode. Yeah, nothing happens because of the particular condition. And now here I still can delete, and I still code, and I also can delete from somewhere in the middle. So the left and the right parts of the current row, excluding the current character, is being populated properly, and that's good. Okay, so now another condition. So now we need to implement the octal wrapping. So I say else if, and the current row is greater than 0. So this should work on whatever row but the very first one, because the very first row doesn't have a previous row to wrap to. So just if the row is greater than 0. In this case, we need the following. So let's define the variable called append line. So we have this line, this entire line, right? We have this line. So we need to append like this line to this line, right? So hence the variable name. So this is going to be equal. So now let's make allocate some memory for it. So again, this is the string, the type rune, and the length for it is text buffer indexed by the current row. So literally the length of the current row. Okay, and let's populate it now. So I say copy append line and populate it with whatever text buffer indexed by the current row, and then the slice current column from the current column, and all that goes to the right. So literally like here is the cursor, so all this should be populated, right? So to wrap to the previous line later. Okay, then let's just create a variable called new text buffer, because we're literally supposed to be replacing the old text buffer with the new one, which already has the different order of lines. So new text buffer is going to equal, just let's first allocate memory for it, so make, and the type slice of slices of runes here, like this. This is going to be the length of the text buffer, and now -1, because there would be one line less by the end of this wrapping operation. Now let's populate it, so copy to the new text buffer, and from the beginning to where the current row is, we populate it respectively with whatever in text buffer from the beginning to where the current row is, right? And then I want to say copy and new text buffer, and this time starting from the current row and up to the very end. This is about to be populated with text buffer indexed by current row +1, and everything goes next. So literally we just exclude the row, so it's similarly it's done similarly to what we've been doing with a single character, but now this exact principle has been applied to lines in the buffer. Now we need to point our current existing text buffer is to be pointed to the new text buffer, and we also want to decrement the current row, so current row -. Then we just the position of the current column, since we've done some line wrapping, it's no longer as it was earlier, so current row is going to be equal to the length of the text buffer, the newly created one, indexed by the current row. And now we make another variable here, so we call it insert line. It's going to be equal to, so make some memory first. It's the type slice of runes, the length of the text buffer indexed by the current row plus the length of the append line. So literally this insert line, it does include whatever we had in the previous line plus whatever we've stored within the append line, and this all is to be again inserted into the text buffer. Now we populate the insert line starting from where the length of the text buffer indexed by the current row and up until to the end of the line. We populate it with append line, so literally appending the line here. And finally I want to replace this particular current row within the text buffer by saying text buffer current row is about to be replaced with this newly created insert line. And that's pretty much all about it. So if I did everything properly, it should now wrap the lines if you press delete in here. So let's save and see if it actually works. So on the very first line this should not do anything, although modify flag has been set, which is okay. So okay, something has gone wrong. It does wrap, but you see the left part of it's not so something wrong with the initialization. So it sort of wraps, but yeah, just not properly handling the previous line. So let's see what we did wrong. Oh, it seems that we actually forgot to populate it. So yeah, just forgot to populate it. So insert line is now empty, so I need to copy here and insert line sliced from the beginning and up to the length of the text buffer indexed by the current row with whatever is there in the text buffer indexed by the current row. Okay, so let's give it a try. Okay, syntax error 67. Yeah, and here, oh, like this. All right, so hopefully, let's give it a try. Yeah, and now you see it just appends to the previous line nicely. So I delete, and yeah, now the strings are getting properly appended. Okay, so one last but not least thing is to check this on Windows. So just click from here and say wine task mgr. In here I do new task command line and I say ego.executable e.go, and I expect to have absolutely the same sort of an output. Yeah, so the deletion sort of works, and yeah, this is really cool. So yeah guys, this is it from my side in regards to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.